Hi, I'm Little One, and today I'm gonna show you how I made this remake of Nariyeh Thanei by Futurecop, remixed by Siamese Youth. So I'm gonna go step by step by showing you every instrument of the track. So first of all, we got this weird melody in the beginning, which goes like that. So for this one, I used, let me find it. I use Serum, and I just use a simple sine wave with this envelope. And as I wanted to get this distorted sound, I added distortion, the diode 1 distortion. And if we go in the mixer, I added some reverb with Valhalla Supermassive, which is free by the way, and Valhalla Shimmer and some EQ, just to get rid of a weird resonance. So on its own, it sounds like that. Very dry. Much better. Then we have this 8-bit harp in the beginning also. This one, for this one I used the VST pitch, which is a VST which emulates the old sounds of the old game consoles, like the Nintendo ones. And I use a preset called Condor, and I added a bunch of effects because it sounds like that. It sounds already cool actually, but I wanted to add more flavor to it by adding some EQ, reverb, distortion, a big boost for the resonance sound, because without it, it sounds like kinda weak. But if we boost this resonance, it's better. And then just getting rid of an annoying resonance here. Then we have the vocals, um, which are actually the original vocals from the song. I just use a tool called Splitter. It's basically an AI that separates the track into different samples, and each sample is a single instrument. So basically, you can get every instrument but in solo from an entire track. So I did this for the track, and here you can see this one is a full track. This one is just the bass. This is the drums. This one, the vocals. Lost myself in coffee and the internet. And all the rest. So you can see it's pretty decent actually. And so I kept the vocal scores. I can't sing, and they didn't provide the stems, so I use Splitter to get the vocals. Lost myself in coffee and the internet. So I just added OTT, Echo Boy for some reverb, echo, and some stereo imaging, just making the reverb a bit more in mono. Then we have the drums. So we first have the snare. So there is not much effect on it, just some transient shaper just to add some attack to make it more punchy. We have the kick, which has a lot of effects on it. So we have some EQ, some tape with satin, some EQ again, some EQ. It's like an EQ. It's like just boosts the bass. A glue compressor, EQ, EQ again, and sausage fattener, because we all like sausage fattener. We also have the hi-hats. Not much on it, just a simple EQ. And there is another hi-hat which is an open hi-hat with no effect on it. Then we have the bass. With a lot of effects on it. Because it sounded pretty weak itself. Like there is no body, there is not a lot of lows. So I boosted a bit the lows with it. I put some stereo imaging to make it less stereo. I boost again. Another boost in the lows. Some distortions in the lows. Another boost. And obviously a sausage fattener. For the bass I use the VST Poly 6 by Cog with the default presets. Of course I'm sightening my bass because without sidechain it would sound like crap. If we take the kick and the bass and we disable the sidechain. It just helps the kick to stand out a bit more. Then we have the violins, which sound like that. So for the violins I use two presets in Expand 2. So the first one is called Fixture, and sounds like that. And the second one is called Spiccato, up plus down, which sounds like that. So there is not much effect on it, just an OTT, a compressor, and a bit of reverb. Then we have the guitar. For the guitar, I'm not sure if the chords are correct. Like I did some chords, but I'm not sure if all the notes within the chords are correct or not. But I thought it sounded good, like it sounded pretty close to the original track, so I kept it like that. But I don't know if it's correct chords. So for the guitar, I use Contact with the library EEG Stratosphere with the pickup set between bridge and middle, as you can see here. And for the guitar, I use THU, which is a VST with lots of classic effects on guitar like amp, compressor, reverb, delay, and the cabinet with the mics. So here we just have a compressor, an amp, cabinet, and a reverb. Then I added an OTT, a compressor, an EQ, and some reverb. Because on its own it sounds like that. Very weak, not very pleasant. Okay. Then we have those kind of drawn long notes, for atmospheric stuff. I'm not sure if they use that in the original track, but I had to fill the space in the track, so I thought it was a good idea to use this trick. Actually, there are three of them. The first one, as you can see, and I gotta turn on those. Okay. So for the first one, I use the VST Wave Station by Korg with the preset Soft Analog. For the effects, I use a stereo imager, 13, EQ, and another EQ. This one is just for the automation, like during the build up, the filter kinda opens slowly to have more highs, and I did that for three of them. For this one I use Expand 2 with the default preset, and for the effects I just use the automation. And then the last one is kind of bad. And I use Expand 2 with the preset Huge Choir with some EQ like that. I also added this plucky thing, which I'm not sure if they use it in the original track, but if you listen to the track, you will hear this kind of plucky thing playing along with the guitar. Da, 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 da. You hear the playing along with the guitar. So I try to play that with this plug thing. And for this one, I use Wave Station with the preset Gentle Winds, and I sampled the thing because I couldn't play the lower notes, so I just sampled the thing into that, and I added this envelope, and then I added some effects like Transient Shaper to add even more attack, and some EQ, some other EQ, a reverb, and some delay. Going further into the track, we have this little guitar riff which plays during the build-up, which sounds like that. I'm not sure if they used the guitar for this one, but I found it sounded kind of like a guitar, so I used a guitar, because in the original it sounds like that. But I'm not sure. So for this one, I use Contact again. Another library called Evolution Strawberry. I use the pickup set on the neck. And for the effects, I added a bit of attack, some CLA guitars, which is kinda like an all-in-one VST. Like you can play with the bass and the treble, you can compress, you can add a reverb, delay, and play with the pitch, I guess. I don't know. And then we have OTT crystallizer to give this weird effect on it, because without it, it sounds like that. It adds a little effect on it. And then some reverb, and finally a bit of EQ. We also have a drum field. For this one I use a classic 80s drum sound. And I added a compressor on it, a boost for the bass, and some transient shaper, just getting rid of the attack and adding a lot of sustain to get even more bass. The last thing is this lead during the second part of the drop, which sounds like that. For this one I use Wave Station with the preset the Pied Piper. And for the effects, I just added some distortion, I guess, yeah, the diode one again, and some reverb. And that's pretty much all. I went through everything, I guess. So I hope you like it, and I hope you learned something. And I apologize for my shitty accent, because I'm not a native English speaker, so sometimes I just struggle to speak correctly in English, but I hope you understood everything I said. If you have any question, you can ask them in the comment section below. And if you like this video, you can put a thumb up. Have a nice day or evening or night, whatever, and see you soon.